Morning, everybody, and welcome. It's TheoTRADE Chat. It's Don Kaufman here. It's February 29th, 2024. It's Leap Day. It's weird. It's very weird. Anyway, SPOOs are up some 15 handles this morning. There is volume. There is size of trade. I don't know if it's going to hold together. Yeah, I don't know. Take a look right now. I want to say there's some volume out there. Ooh, almost 300,000 contracts. The bonds are also on the move. I'm surprised by the bonds. The bonds are doing 200,000 plus contracts. I'm surprised they actually rallied back up. So we had PCE data that came out this morning, and we were here, and then we were here, which is there and there, which is it's a big move. It's 30 handle move from actually some of the lows. I mean, look, we were basically trading about 15 handles lower. We're now 15 handles higher. I would just be well aware that this morning we have a much bigger expected move. The expected move for the day is 33 bucks. I'll mention that again after the cash open. The expected move today is $33. So, look, we ain't home yet. Russell is also loving it. Russell's actually up about 1.5%. So right now, before you guys get all rally crazy over here, you're up 0.3%. A little perspective. What is actually making decent sized moves though? Nvidia actually hit the oh so important 770 level. I was talking about that on last night's video. I was talking about it yesterday while I was live, but it hit the 770 level. It bid back up, and it's got a bid coming into today's cash open. We'll see if it actually holds it together. I mean, I know it's so ridiculous to mention this. That's what's actually got the bid under the NASDAQ right now. Looking around at other stocks, just want to bring this up. Microsoft's barely up. Okay. Apple's actually slightly down. Okay. Amazon, what do you got going on in Amazon? You got absolutely nothing. It's actually even slightly down. Google, okay, it's a nothing burger. Meta, all right, you got a little bit of a bid under Meta, and of course Tesla, mild bid under Tesla. So you do not have what you think you have in terms of all the stocks are just rallying together. There's not great degrees of correlation. Now, the advanced decline line this morning is definitely going to be positive, right? And there's going to be a lot of stocks that are positive in here, but there's not necessarily a rotation out of technology. Just be aware, though, that the correlation in big tech is just simply not there. Energy this morning, energy has a bid, nothing crazy though. I mean, this thing it's up, but it's nominally up, and of course the financials last, but definitely not least the financials mild bid into this morning. So again, we do have Nvidia once again with Meta kind of ruling the roost in this marketplace. That's all you really want to pay attention to. We are hitting some of the highs right here, right now, coming into this opening bell. So we're going to open up. There's no question. Again, there's going to be a strong advanced decline line. Okay, but don't get ahead of yourself. As I said, some of the big tech stocks are maybe a little off. Be strong ticks as well, because a lot of stocks, up kind of through and through. Let's come to this Thursday morning's cash open here. So right out of the gate, you have 84, 85 products trading to the upside. Pretty good size correlation. You are getting some movement right back up inside of stuff like Microsoft. But again, generally speaking, they are massively unchanged across the board. All the price action right now that you're seeing inside of NASDAQ is coming out of right here. Nvidia, okay, Meta to some degree is up about 1%. But oh, that's crazy. It really is crazy. Like on a day-to-day basis, when we're in here, we're like, oh no, it's Nvidia. Nvidia has all accounts for almost all of the 100 out of the 140 points the Nasdaq is up. It's Nvidia. With that, look at some of the order flow right out of the gate this morning, and it is rambunctious to say the least. Let's also go look at ticks of this morning. Strong, not raging strong, but positive 1,000 tick. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a bid under us this morning, and I'm going to tell you, it's one stock. Wow. The more I look at it, the more you start to recognize, like, look, you can bark about the advanced decline line all you want in here. Stuff that I see that's up, like, look, the energy sector is barely up. It's only up 0.2%. The financials are up 0.2%. Now, there's two different ways to look at this. You can look at it and say, well, holy crap, there's some room to run to the upside. I would agree with that. There is room to run to the upside. But if you start having the financials run and if you start having energy run, okay, you may actually see some sell side hit a couple of the tech stocks. There has not been great degrees of correlation lately. What we've seen is this constant like rotation. And what's important to the overall marketplace, okay, they categorically speaking are these rotations. What are the S&Ps going to do? I'll find out in a minute here if this marketplace starts to rotate. When I'm talking about rotations, again, if we start to buy energy, if we start to buy financials, you might start to see some sell side activity in a handful of these tech stocks. When I'm a little bit, nervous about an early trade, and again, you're pretty heavily correlated here. What I'm pretty nervous about an early trade, though, is some of the other tech stocks possibly coming back to life, which would definitely create much more of a bid under this marketplace. All right. Look, I'm gonna tell you right out of the gate here. So going to the NQ, and we'll just look at like last night's trade. In fact, I'm going to use the QQQ. I prefer to use the Qs. Okay, the Qs are up $3.31. All right, what were they expecting for the entire trading session? Survey says $3.87. So we're really close. We're not home yet, but we're really close to that one deviation move inside of the NASDAQ. Why am I looking at it? Well, I like an intraday position as much as the next individual. And what I'm looking at is if the Qs hit their expected move for the day, I may actually fade it today. All right. Now, I know Jeff Bierman is listening to this and probably just fell out of his seat when I said that, but I may fade this today. And I'm going to tell you why I may fade it today, okay, in quite some detail. Even though this advanced decline line is strong as can be, again, you have tech, and it looks, well, a little funky to me. The one thing that's holding things together is clearly, decisively Nvidia, which again, an overnight trade. I want to reiterate, it hit, all right, exactly what I talked about in the last night's video and what I talked about yesterday. It hit that 770 level. Okay, did it in the overnight trade, so not nearly as many fireworks. There's a huge bid under Nvidia. If this fades at all, it's going to be a spectacular trade for today. And there's, the market's rallying right now, but there's not that high correlation. Like the bonds are not exactly ripping, right? I mean, the bonds have recovered. They were down, as I recall, 15 ticks before the bonds were down 15 ticks right before PCE data came out. So they ripped a little bit on that, but not nearly as much as I would have anticipated. Okay. The dollar sold off, but it actually feels like it's going to rally back. Again, I'm looking for kind of an entry point here, and it's coming. Okay. It's coming to me. Look at this. So right there, and by the way, I like to use the expected move for the QQQ. For those of you that are a little bit, what do you know? Okay. If you want to find expected move, if you're in here, and when I say in here, if you're on Thinkorswim, it's NQH24. If you ever want to look at the expected move, you have to go NQH24. Like you have to put the full symbol in. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. And that H24 will actually bring up, this. And here it is. The expected move in the NQ is about 168. But I'm going to tell you the truth on that front. The truth is the QQQ is far more accurate. And if you really want to know what the expected move is for the NQ, what you basically do, and I've done this in the past and I'll do it again, but Okay, what you basically do is you take the expected move. Let me just put it in as 387, right? $3, okay, and 87 cents, and multiply it by 40. Okay, and it's basically 154. And oh, how ironic. Okay, so we're basically right there right now. My my trade that I was thinking about doing here was fading this. When I say fading it, well, fire first and explain later. Okay, let's just go out there and buy a one lot. Captain One Lot rides again. Did I seriously just miss that? This platform's okay, so friggin' slow now. I just, years and years of trading on like Thinkorswim. Like, how many times I've clicked on here? No less than a few 100,000 times that I've actually clicked orders off, and I'm missing something in there. It pisses me off to no end. Okay, let me explain what I just did. Okay, and then you can play the TheoTRADE at home game. It's been a while since I've actually popped one of these trades. All right, I went out there, okay, and I bought a 0 DTE. So it's a Feb 29, right? I bought the Feb 29, okay, 438 puts. And I bought them for 94 cent, okay, debit. What is my risk? 94 cents. What's my risk? 94 cents. Will I lose the 94 cents? Oh, if it goes against me, I will lose the 94 cents. Why did I do it? All right. It's not so much about the 94 cents. What we have here is here, let's draw it this way. Let's do it. Let's do this. It's a distribution curve, right? Distribution curve in the QQQ, started the day, whatever. We'll call it X. Okay. And the expected move on that was what, $3.87 higher or $3.87 lower. Okay. And basically what I just did is I traded for the edge of the expected move. If we revert back at all, I make money. If we continue higher, I'm going to lose. Okay. Now I like this trade. And I'm going to tell you why I like this trade. And I always do the exact same thing, right? Because if you're going to do something in this business, all right, you have to have degrees of consistency. Without it, you're nothing. Anyway, if you look at this and you're up 387 already. Now, can we move? And it's ironic because we're sitting like right there, right? Can we move 2 times the expected move? Let's just call it like, could we move, for instance, up 7? Okay. Could we move up $7? And survey says, yes. Okay, could we move down $7? Of course we could, but there's a diminished probability of that occurrence. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, and again, I don't care what you think about the trade. I just want you to understand the logic behind it. Okay, so you understand the logic behind this is I go out and I see that we're at a 1 standard deviation move 5 minutes into a trading day. Okay, and again, you don't have to trade it. That's completely up to you. So 5 minutes into the trading day, we're already at a 1 standard deviation move. And I say to myself, like, could we move up 2 deviations, right? So that's 2 sigmas. This is 1 sigma, 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma more. Anyway, yes, you can definitely move up here, but it's a diminished probability of that occurrence. Okay. But I did it at 1 standard deviation. If we're already up 2 deviations, sure, you could do that too. But even at a 1 standard deviation move, I was comfortable. So I take the shot, right? And I think that it has a decent probability. Okay. I also see with it, the bonds look a little funky. They're funky bonds. Okay. It's a couple of major sectors. Look, the advanced decline line might be positive in here, but it's not exactly spectacular. And we'll see how it plays out. Now, in addition to it, okay, yes, but wait, there's more. In addition to my having taken that trade, oh, this is perfect. It's right trading at $1 right now, so I'm going to explain you something even better. Explain it, okay? So let's say that you went out and actually bought this trade right now, and you did it for $1, because that's exactly where it is. So you go out there and you risk $1, okay? What are you going to make? Well, if you're wrong, okay, your trade goes to 0. You're a loser. Okay. What if you're right though? And what does right indicate? If we revert back to like, massively unchanged, you realize you go like $1, $2, $3, there's still a $2.61 expected move. Okay. This thing could be worth as much as like 277, which would you could make as much as like $1.75 on it. So what I'm talking about here is risk reward. In a world, let's call the world a 50-50 shot. Wouldn't you want to do a trade as if you're wrong, you're going to lose $1, and if you're right, you can make $1.75? Let's get crazy. Let's only call this, okay? Even if you could just make $1.20. In a 50-50 world, if you could risk a buck to be able to make $1.20, why wouldn't you do that in a 50-50 world? And every single day you go out and you bet it again and bet it again and you bet it again. Okay, there should be some positive expected returns. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. I think that the dollar thing is actually kind of cool. So with a $1 bet, that could have a payout of $1.20, $1.50, $1.80. Okay, it's good. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in this trade. Like everybody always asks me, when are you going to get out? If it's worth this, what's the percentage return? Percentage return, okay, is very, very much dependent upon which delta I pick, how early in the day it is. I mean, but I'm going to tell you right now, I am not into that trade to make $1. Okay. I'm risking $1. I can't be making $1. That's stupid at that point because in a larger number of occurrences, I'm going to lose money. Does that make sense also? Because it's important just to understand the simplicity of it. If I risk a buck to be able to make a buck in this trade, not in all trades, but in this trade, with let's call it a 50-50 chance. As I said, I think it has a better than a 50-50 chance. But if you risk a buck to be able to make a buck, okay, in a 50-50 world, that's not going to make you any money. That's just not going to make you money. So in this trade, I've got to be able to make, $1.50, $1.20, $2, something like that. But trades like this as well, I also want you to recognize I'm going to let fly. And that basically means, okay, I'm not going to sit in here and, I'm going to get out of it. I'm up a little bit. Okay, that's not the game over here. I'm not getting out for, when that option's worth $1.50. That thing could go to $4 or $5. Right. And I've had a lot of positions do that. We had a position one day that went from 80 cents to like $9. Okay. It happens when markets actually, revert back down, things get crazy. We'll see how it goes. Right. So leave it alone if you want to do it. Okay. And, towards the end of the day, I will exit the position, win, lose, or draw. I don't give a damn. What am I going to do? Oh, no, I'm going to lose $94. I only did a one lot. You think, one lot can't make any money, really? Again, you can have a one lot on here. It could be worth $500 by the end of the day, right? So be Captain One Lot. Feel like Captain One Lot. Let the Captain One Lot course through your veins. Okay, let's back over to Nvidia. Okay, Nvidia. Somebody saying is TOS doesn't show an option chain for February 29th. Wrong product, man. If you have weeklies on here, okay, it will show it. But again, you're not looking at the right product. The only product that would have a February 29th would be like Spiders, SPX, and QQQ. Okay. So Spiders, SPX, QQQ, even the Russell has it. Nobody really trades the Russell, but it has to be like in the Qs. So you got the wrong product up, or you don't have weeklies displayed. So there's never going to be an issue with that ever. And I'll tell you exactly why. The data feeds, like they're the same through all the trading applications. I mean, it's possible if you had like interactive brokers or something like that, something could be screwed up. But when you look at Thinkorswim, the data feed on Thinkorswim is the same data feed that's on Tasty. They both use DevX. So that's it is what it is, whether you like it or not. All right, we need some coffee here. There's a coffee need. There's definite coffee need over here. Hopefully Jeff Bierman didn't fall out of his seat too badly on that one. Come on, Bierman. He's quiet. He's very quiet. It's dangerous when he's quiet. All right, let's continue onward and upward over here, shall we? Somebody said, don't worry about the trade that's expiring. It's not today. Okay, there's no trade expiring today in the what you've actually got, all right, is an end of month over here against, and that's the hedge, but that's against, okay, the put that we have sold, and we're good on the put that we've sold. So all we're going to do is just exit the put, and I let the put actually run just a little bit more. So you'll see a text message likely to exit that. Kind of like some of the pricing on that one right now too. By the way, even if we sold off today, it's not going to make much of a difference on this put. So 78 days left. We're in good shape on that one. In good shape. All right. Well, let's let that. We'll come back to that later. Um, I thought somebody was concerned about. We're not concerned about a hedge that's expiring. We're concerned about the short options that actually cause risk. Okay. Speaking of something that causes risk, look at this. Apple right now falling back to flat on the day, right? And these two stocks lately just cannot get out of their own way. The only thing that's really sustaining the marketplace is between you, me, and Nvidia. Speaking of Nvidia, there's some action in the options, but nothing too crazy just yet. All right. Hmm, I like it. I like it. Look, if there's going to be some big price action this morning, just to quantify this, there is a Chicago PMI number. All right. Obviously that came out, but it's a nothing burger. Pending home sales is not going to do anything. There's some Fed speak. It's not going to do anything in here. By the way, the Chicago PMI number that came out was soft. Okay. No real dramatic impact. The next big numbers that come out are tomorrow. I'm just going to caution you. I don't think that the marketplace, and again, I wouldn't have put on that contrarian position. I don't think the marketplace is going to hold it together here. It's again, Nvidia's already seen some sell side activity. This could get absolutely crazy here in a matter of moments. So let's you know what? I'll give you this one. I am actually going to whack this put right now. Let's do this. Okay, and we're gonna look to close a put in here, 10-10-25. What I'm doing is closing the put on the TheoTheta small and TheoTheta large. You know what? I'm only on here for another 15 minutes. I just don't like the look of the S&Ps right now. Bear with me for one moment. Go back over here to the TheoTheta large portfolio. It's up 57%. Yeah, I'm going to sit tight. These are not going to move. I'm very comfortable with them, but if you guys want to start closing these ahead of the curve over here, that's fine. I typically don't say that kind of stuff. The reason I typically don't do that is you guys are going to start closing them. I can see 14 have already traded, but you could just hit this right now at the offer. You hit it at the offer and close it. That would actually work. And bear with me here for just a moment. I'm obviously live and trading here, so I make sure everybody knows. All right, I'm filled. So I hit those at 1025. Now watch as we actually do this. Let's see if this thing fills. We're going to watch this very carefully right now. The market's 10 at 1025. We're going to put an order in for a few hundred at the same time that I'm actually talking about it. And I can see a few filling in here, but we're going to hit them with some really big size, right? So if you guys keep an eye on this, I'm going to highlight that. You will see some heavy size start to trade through here. Obviously, there are 1,300 contracts that are open, and that's largely us. Okay, and there it is. They moved the market a little bit. We just filled about 100 of them. Okay, and then they moved the market on us. I'm going to leave that on there for a minute. There's another few hundred that are actually just filled. Okay, and again, this is us on the opposing side. When I say the opposing side, like this is us actually bidding for these, and again, the market moved a little bit. You can see quite a number coming in. All right. We're going to move right now in price because I think we have another about 400 or 500. This number should jump easily to about 900 in the next couple of moments, and there we are. There we go. So we're done. Okay, so you can see the market then jump back. This is one of the issues that you face when trading some big size. Okay, and that's some size, people. And that's one of the areas that we constantly, we run into in here. Just bear with me as I'm gonna get this thing texted out. Okay, that one's over and done with. We'll send out a text message to you. But again, just to if you guys want to see the order, I'll actually pop my order in there. Okay, and that's a 56% gain. Get out, and that's Theo Small. Okay, let's move past that one. In the large portfolio here, this one's up 57%. This is also a similar market. And bear with me as I jump to execute in here. Our size in here, these are the 4400s. Size in here won't be quite as big because these are big boy contracts in here, no question about that, right? So if you take a look at some of the volume, and there's 148 that have already traded ahead of us, we're just going to go 1025 bid in here. This is going to fill no problem. And you're going to see this volume also jump. This is not going to jump nearly as much. We're not going to be doing like, close to 1,000 contracts in here. We're going to do a few hundred contracts in here, but you keep your eyes on that because we're going to go 1025 bid. And there's times where I will hit the market when I'm going to hit them with size. See that we're filled. Okay, so we're over and done with in both of those. So we're out of the put, and the hedge will expire worthless. Okay, filled on everything in there too. So we are out of the contest. Make sure everybody sees this one. All right, let's take a quick glance back at overall markets on here. All right, everybody get out of those. Theo small, Theo large. Okay, you got them. Get out of them. The only thing we're going to be left with by tomorrow morning is this 50-50 call in the Theo large. Okay, and then Theo small, similarly, the 49-50 call. So wiggling, wiggling, wiggling out of some inventory in here, ready to put some more on. Hopefully we actually get some decent movement in here. Right now, we do have Nvidia not just holding the market together. I mean, literally, it is the market right now. There's a slight bid coming in under Microsoft that also is kind of a sustaining bid in here. Obviously, Meta picked up. One of my fears earlier was, as I said, what if some of the other tech stocks start coming back? What's interesting right now, okay, we are rotating. You're going to see the advanced decline line possibly come off because the financials are coming in right now. So if you look at advanced decline line, just watch this for a second. The advanced decline line has come in substantially. Don't let it fool you. The advanced decline line is coming down. You don't see the marketplace coming down because some of the tech stocks, it's exactly the rotations that we were talking about, right? So you're starting to rotate out of other crap and start to buy tech again. Oh, there's nothing left to buy. That was actually the one of the conversations we were having yesterday, and Brandon and Blake were saying the exact same thing. That was the topic of conversation. There's this feeling right now, at least on my behalf, is just, there's just not a lot of places to put money. And I'm not saying, even my own capital, like if you're a money manager, where the hell are you going to go right now? I'm not trying to be facetious by saying that in any way, shape, or form. Where are you going to go? I mean, and all of a sudden you start to see asset classes like Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. By the way, you look at Bitcoin, for those of you who are not aware of this, you're going to crack to all-time highs right here, right now. I mean, this also yesterday scared the living hell out of everybody because we had a pretty good size crash. It had to do with a technology issue specifically over at Coin. Okay, it's the talk of the trading community as of last night. You have a platform that's maybe not exactly bulletproof out there, nor is any platform, nevertheless, causing a little momentary lapse of reason, or maybe there finally was some reason, and the moment was actually Bitcoin actually sold off a little bit. Um, anyway, with this, Bob was saying, when you manage your inventory, don't you always close short positions at 50%? Okay, yes, but you clearly, Bob, had missed earlier in the week. What we did in the position, and the reason we actually left this on to make some 57%, okay, the reason we actually left it on is I knew the hedge was going to expire. So why not just ride this position out for a few more days? I collected an extra 6% here, but because the hedge was going out worthless regardless. So it was worth actually holding the hedge for an extra couple of days in there. Okay. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. That is what I did. With that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at NASDAQ. It's squirrely in here right now. The marketplace really hasn't moved all that much since the open, but it feels real squirrely. Volatilities are down. And by the way, I want to make something clear about this. The volatility should be down. Okay. Hmm. All right. So volatility should be down because we got through the PCE data. So apologize. I realize I'm going to run out of time here any second because we got to bring on Tony Rago. Bear with me here for a second. I'm looking at a handful of other products on the screen. All right, I'll kind of recap part of what I did in here. So really the only trades I've done this morning, and I'll recap some of the trades from yesterday. I went out and actually bought, okay, I bought a put inside of the Qs. The put that I bought for Qs is an intraday put. Hey, look, you can actually buy it right now for a hell of a lot less. Not a hell of a lot less, but it is less. The put in the Qs is good to the end of the day. Okay. As I say this all the time, let it ride. By the way, look at the contract size in there. Huge by huge. There is big activity. in the put that that we're trading. The other trades that I actually did, of course, were closed. The TheoTHETA large, TheoTHETA small, 4,400 puts. I'll also reiterate a trade that I did in Wells Fargo yesterday. That trade might still be there today in terms of price. The Wells Fargo trade was simply buying a put spread in here. Yeah, we traded it a little bit less, okay, in portions of yesterday, a little bit less than that. Nevertheless, the Wells Fargo trade is kind of off and running here. Again, you can also grab that trade. I was thinking yesterday this might be a big, like, kind of key reversal day. We're bid right back up inside of Wells Fargo. We'll see how this one plays out. Speaking of Wells Fargo, look at this thing from a statistical point of view. This is a third consecutive week of cracking outside of expected move. Even if you want to discount this one dramatic move up, I mean, it is still, that is all kinds of chaos in that marketplace. Okay. Clearly, I'm trading on an intraday basis today for a reversal. We'll see if it actually plays out. The markets are kind of stagnating right now at, okay, the NASDAQ expected move. Speaking of expected move, I also want to leave you with this thought. We're at Thursday right now, okay? Obviously, we're at Thursday. Right where we're trading is the heaviest amount of gamma risk that you're going to have. Obviously, going into tomorrow, the gamma risk is going to increase even more. We are literally unchanged on the week as of right now. So the week saw just some mild sell side activity. At one point yesterday, we were like halfway home to the lower edge of expected move. We're just jumped right back to unchanged. Okay. The markets, though, again, just my opinion, they feel like they're struggling. The bonds have now taken off to the upside. If there's a bullish sign for the S&Ps, it's that the bonds finally started to rally. Okay. But again, tech, it's all over the place. And you're pretty much, relegated to the fact that it's Nvidia. I mean, it's been Nvidia. It continues to be Nvidia. What I'm looking for today, and I'll make no two ways about this, I'm looking for this thing to test back into that 770 range. And we are a long way away, okay, from 770, people. So well, sit back, relax. I'm actually going to turn it over to none other than Tony Rago. Let's do it. Bring on Tony Rago right now. Again, I'll be around for the entire trading session, but yeah, not liking the way this is looking over here. I really hate screaming 51.11, but not too far off of it right now. Take a look. The financials can't get out of their own way, right? The energy sector not doing a whole hell of a lot. And there is a little bit of dissension in the ranks, okay? But markets overall, squirrely at best. Stay tuned. You got Tony Rago coming on right now.